Yes, it's time. It's time for my friend Gumby and I to have a little chat. And so today's Gumby Chronicles is titled Appreciating Darkness. So I'm Ellen Lambert from beautiful Buffalo, Texas, smack dab between Dallas and Houston in the middle of nowhere. And the Gumby Chronicles is just my slices and bits and bots, observations of life that might motivate you and share your spirits. So, it is absolutely impossible that 2 weeks ago I was touring Reykjavik, Iceland. Like, who is that? Who was that? What was that? And I felt like I didn't heard of that. We wore Iceland out. It was remarkable. I didn't get to see the northern lights because it wasn't the season for northern lights. And it has to be quite dark, obviously, to see the light. But we had plenty of light, to be sure, because it was, in fact, 21 hours, 22 hours of daylight, the land of the midnight sunish. It was light all the time, so you never got a cue to go to sleep. It was crazy. I felt like the Energizer Bunny. I was awake a lot. I slept less than I ever have in consecutive days ever in my life, and somehow had the stamina to keep going. Of course, there's nothing like new, right? To drive you and fuel you and energize you. So there was all the new. But when I got home the following Tuesday, it was very dark when I pulled up to the house. And dark in the country in the middle of nowhere where there aren't city lights. And the houses are far enough apart that there's not a lot of light emanating from them. Dark is super dark. And it was amazing how black dark it was when I came home. So I dropped my suitcase, went back out on the porch, and sat in the dark for some time, appreciating the night sounds of the country, appreciating the dark. Because if you don't have the contrast in life, if you don't have the light constantly, you never get a chance to appreciate how beautiful dark is. And the flip side is true. As one who has experienced her share of very, very dark days, I'm grateful for each and every one, because it's only through adversity, the hard times, the valleys, that those zenith moments are so extravagantly breathtaking. There was a moment at the tippy top of a glacier on 150 feet of ice where it was so quiet. And there was virtually nothing except our pack of snowmobiles making too much noise. And I thought, how can this be? It was gorgeous and magnificent and humbling and awe-inspiring, and I cannot describe the beauty I was able to behold and the privilege to be there. And I was so overwhelmed by it. But this I know, I think I appreciated it more than all the gals that haven't been privileged to live as many decades as I have. Because I have so many days to compare it to. For some time now, I have tried to be equally appreciative of the zenith moments and the valleys. To have a life well lived, we need to have them both. Because one without the other takes all the contrast away. If we lived in perpetual light, we'd never know how cool it is that after a night's slumber, the sun rises. If it was always light, we wouldn't appreciate the stars. And it is the contrast of those really hard challenges that make the blessings and the goodness and the great zenith moments, my friend Leah Ray called them, zenith moments, so compelling, so rare, and so remarkable. If we're honest, our life is not filled with dark days. It certainly, in my experience, is not filled with zenith moments. It's a range. I've taken up bowling again. I think I've shared that. And because I've bowled so poorly in my past, when I bowl well, it is so joyful. I love to bowl well because I know full well what it feels like to bowl poorly. Every day can be like that. When you're in the abyss of a darker day, even if it's not the darkest, it's just on the darker side, rest knowing the lighter days are coming. Og Mandino is one of my favorite authors, and in his series of books that motivated me throughout my 20s and 30s, I've clung to his words. He talks a lot about the truth of it all, and that there is a certainty that comes that knowing as day follows night, this too shall pass. The good times, they too shall pass. And the awfulest depths of the darkest ones, they're going to pass too. And so my encouragement to us all is, may we embrace them equally. Confident at our darkest times that the good ones are coming. And full on joyful when the good ones come, because we deserve the good ones when they come. And are we not so grateful that they do? And that, my friends, is all the wisdom the Gumby and I have for you. If you're in the darkest night, your brighter day is coming. And if you're in the middle smack dab of the brightest days you've ever enjoyed, a friend of mine just had her second grandson in like 3 months, and she's over the moon. I hope that those moments that she's enjoying now stretch, because they're so filled with light and love and goodness. She deserves every bit of it. And so do you. Rest in that.